Thank you, Virginia. Co-signing on a loan, it can cause major legal issues for you, the co-signer. Here to talk about why you should maybe think twice before getting involved with someone financially is Ed Herman from Brown & Crouppen. Nice to have you back.
Thank you very much.
So really, when you co-sign on anything, loan, line of credit, you are 100% on the hook, right?
You are. I tell people, don't think of it as co-signing. Think of it as co-owning with no ownership rights. The only thing you really co-own is the debt.
The reason it's done is maybe out of generosity or out of a sense of duty. You're helping someone who doesn't have established credit or who has poor credit and is looking to turn things around.
Right, exactly. I mean, depending on what you're looking to buy, if the main person doesn't have enough of a financial history or if they have a poor financial history, a lot of times a landlord won't give them a lease without a cosigner. You can't buy a car maybe without a cosigner. You might not be able to get a credit card without a cosigner. So that's when it comes up. And as a general rule of thumb, you know, I would try to avoid these situations whenever possible, but that's living in the perfect world.
Right.
Living in the real world where we have relationships and there's people that we love, I would try to stick, one rule absolutely I'd stick to is don't ever do it for somebody that you're not already legally bound to. So I would restrict it to, you can do it for your children if you have to. You can do it for your parents if you have to.
Okay.
And I guess a spouse. Technically. But never do it for a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or even just a casual friend, because quite often the financial commitment goes on longer than the relationship does. Yeah. And that can cause tremendous problems. But what you really get into problems with is that you're really giving them a piece of your credit. And that does affect your own credit score.
Sure.
The activity that happens on that account, the payment history, will impact your score, and even the fact that it's an additional outstanding debt will affect your score, because one of the things that factors into your FICO score is how much of your total available credit are you currently using.
Right.
So when you kind of co-sign on something, it does show up on your report. It does count as debt that you're using.
And yet, the credit limit for the person that you're co-signing for could go up without a legal obligation to notify you.
That's why there's never a reason ever to co-sign for a credit card. It's the most dangerous thing, and here's why. Just what you said. If the person's over 21 years old, you co-sign on it thinking that they have a limit of maybe $1,000, $2,000, a little, you know, throw around money maybe for a college student.
Right.
Well, if they're over 21, they can unilaterally get an increase in their credit limit without you ever knowing about it, run up $5,000, $10,000 in credit card debt, and all of a sudden you find yourself on the hook. The only time I would kind of say that you could do it for your children is with a landlord on a short-term lease. It's a one-year lease. You can calculate ahead of time what your worst-case scenario is. You know, worst case, it's $500 a month, so it's $6,000. Maybe you don't want to lend them the money. You want them to get some responsibility. So you can do that. At least you can limit your exposure. What I would recommend, if you do have to do a credit card situation with your child, for example, you're better off making them an authorized user of one of your existing cards.
Gotcha.
Then you get the statements every month. You can monitor their activity. You can cut them off whenever you want to.
Pull the plug on them.
Right.
Sure.
You have to try to maintain as much control over it as possible.
If you do go down this road, they advise you keep copies of every legal document involved.
Keep copies of everything. And if you do it, you know, I don't think it's out of line if somebody's asking you to do it, for you to ask them to provide you with some kind of monthly statement showing that they made the payment and that nothing negative is going to be reported on anybody's credit.
So in a perfect world, don't do it. In an imperfect world, do it very carefully. If you have a legal question for Brown &